Welcome, Yewande, Solanke.
Okay.
It's lovely to have you here. We're delighted to have you here at Anglo.
Thank you.
We're here today to celebrate National Women in Engineering Day. We're joining actually the Women in Engineering Society in celebrating this day here at Anglo, as we'd really like to do it publicly this year. You can see that you're a finalist for a big award, which is very exciting. So you work at the TfL and you're a project manager.
Yes.
Fantastic. So a bit about me. My name's Kirsten Perry. I am the Business Development Director here at Anglo. I've been in this role for about 2 years. I know the director for like about 20 years, and I really like the idea of having a national day for women in engineering. Because as I understand it, the UK is very poor in terms of the amount of women going into engineering, studying for it, staying in it, staying within the career and moving forward. Our research shows us that 6% of women are coming into engineering in the UK and are not necessarily staying there. We can get into questions later, but I think when people have children, women have children, they don't necessarily come back into it. It's like 1 or 2% is the national average, which is appalling. I looked at where are we in relationship to other countries. Canada and Australia are strides ahead of the UK, like 20% or something. Hence, my colleague Tony was trying to find somebody like you who's a real, example for other women, young women coming into the sector, and why we wanted to support this particular day.
Okay.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Great. You're a finalist for the European Women in Construction and Engineering Award for Best Woman Project Manager.
That's right.
Yeah. And what prompted you to go forward for that?
I was actually nominated by TfL.
Oh, great!
So
Fantastic.
I was quite shocked to find out, and it was a really good boost for me because I worked, as you said, that there aren't many senior female project managers. Opportunities where women are highlighted is one way that you can give women confidence to stick with it and also to actually want to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that even happened apart from this was around this time as well, because the celebration in TfL at the moment, we're celebrating 100 years of women in the transport industry.
Fantastic. And
it came up because I think 100 years ago when there was the wars, the Maida Vale line of Bakerloo, Maida Vale line basically was run by women totally. So all the stations
the First World War.
First World War. So
awesome.
So 100 years.
We can do it if we need to.
So that's been celebrated now to say, look, there's nothing anyone's doing there that isn't, that women can't do.
So what prompted you to choose a career in engineering?
I think I started off with computer science. That was what I wanted to study initially.
Were you into maths and science when you were a kid?
Not necessarily. I was into science, but not the elementary science. I was just more into trying to find out why things worked a certain way. And if I looked at the television, I think, what actually causes, I was very analytical in my thinking. So trying to do that at university wasn't really an issue. It almost seems like a weird fallacy that's grown up with us that we're meant to be more soft and looking for cuddly things. But I find that women are a lot more focused than we give ourselves credit for.
Definitely.
And that's what helped me. And maybe it doesn't help that growing up, I look at, and I know it's going to sound strange saying looking at toys and things that help you learn as you grow. When things are put into girls and boys sections, I don't think it helps because it makes girls feel like if they're interested in technical stuff, then they're unnecessarily butch. And we've come into a very strangely, I don't want to say superficial because being girly, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think we're in a heightened time where everyone knows how to wear the best makeup and this and that, and then trying to marry that up with people thinking, it's all gloves and grease and dirt, just isn't working. For London Underground, it's absolutely amazing because you get to work on different stations. You have, the thing that I think is quite key is as long as you're ready to break things down. And I think that's amazing for me because I always feel women are so capable of this. And it can be hard because that's the other thing is I suppose if women are prepared to sometimes not always be the friend, but be I don't want to say the boss, but
the
just
manager,
know the manager, you've got to do the work, then you find it's not as difficult because people will trust you if you have the results. And I've been lucky to have that with my team, so they know that if I say this is what we need to do, then everyone's prepared to follow through because they trust that I've thought it through to the end, and it should be profitable for everyone.
Fantastic.
It's just being confident in yourself and not feeling intimidated, because that's how I used to feel when I started off a bit. I thought, God, I don't know what they've done.
Can I ask you, this is a really good point, what was the trigger for you? Because you obviously got confident at some point. What happened in you internally or what happened externally? What do you think?
My real turning point was when I had my first mentor, like my actual official mentor, and it helped that he was a guy. Yeah. So he was very straightforward. And I remember the first few months when we would meet up and I would complain about something and he would just listen and then go, so what exactly are you going to do about this?
Yeah, put it
That's
all back
not
on
what
you.
I was waiting for. I just wanted to have a moan and just go away and feel happy, and especially as that's what I read the mentoring relationship was about. When my job came up, it came up as an assistant project manager within London Underground. I think that's probably the only time I ever did what men do, which is when they say they look at a list of things and they think, well, I haven't done all of that, but I'm applying anyway. And I applied, and it worked because once I got there, they just said, well, if you feel you can do this, you've got your the period during which they assess you before they actually make you permanent.
Do you want to tell us about the most challenging project you've ever been involved with?
Oh, right. I think my most challenging to date is actually one of the projects that I'm currently almost finishing. It should be finished in August. It's I'm building a clean room for London Underground. It's the first one in TfL. It's basically a particle controlled environment.
Okay.
So it's going to have some a high pressure within it, so that any impurities that are within the room gets pushed out. So it's that imbalance of pressure that creates a clean environment in the actual structure itself. And in order to also keep up with that, you have to make sure that people are wearing the right kind of outfits, and they have a lot of extract equipment in there so that all their equipment, all the dust and muck gets sucked up and isn't released into the atmosphere. By the time the sponsor came to site to see where how we progressed, he was quite happy because he was like, I didn't even envisage this because I didn't know what we were going to get, but you guys seem to have actually pulled this off. And so for me, having to have a project like that, which is the first of its kind, it's I mean, for my team, they go on about it, so I just feel like, and that's not just my local team, it's my bigger team, because it really is something that people say, if they talk about jobs that our bigger team is doing, they always highlight. It's good to have a woman there, because people can then say, women actually do break out the box and can actually do things that sometimes we don't expect of them. So,
congratulations. As a woman in engineering, what would you like your legacy to be?
I would like to believe that there are some women somewhere who are able to look at me and think, well, if she's able to do what she's doing, then I feel that, the opportunities must be there, and it would possibly give people confidence to aspire to do what I do. If one woman, even just one, decides, I'm going to try and be an engineer just because of what you've done, that would actually just be, I would believe that that's a stepping stone to other women also looking up to that woman, and then being able to feel encouraged to, take advantage of the opportunities we have. Hopefully, I hope I can eventually even become a more of an official mentor for women, where they can actually come and talk to me about things that they might feel concerned about, and if their confidence is low, then I hope I can boost their confidence, as I had mine boosted some time ago, where I was told in no uncertain terms what I was capable of, and I was almost forced to accept it. So hopefully they will feel the same and think, if she believes in me, then I'm pretty sure I'm able to do this, this job and do it as well as possible. So I hope that I can do that, but we just have to keep trying and just keep pushing forward.
Thank you so much, Yewande. That was beautiful. Really inspiring. Thank you very much.